Tyler, first practice, second practice of your second OTAs. How are you feeling so far your second offseason going in?
Yeah, I feel great. I think, going through these installs back again, it's not learning it for the first time. It's a review, not a preview. And so for me, it's been a lot of fun kind of taking ownership with a lot of the guys, focus on what I can get better at and how we can get better as a unit. So I think the sense of urgency these past 2 days has been, just at a premium. It's been so fun to see everybody on both sides of the team. I think the energy has been great.
How much more comfortable are you in it now as compared to last year?
Yeah, I think it's night and day. I think night and day. Whenever you're coming here, you're trying to learn all these new terms. You don't know what practice looks like, and for me now, being able to have a second go around, and then also kind of have the unit and make sure everybody's on the same page, feel really comfortable. And like I said, for me now, I can kind of focus on how we can dive deeper into the playbook, how I can specifically be better. And for me, that's the whole fun part about being a quarterback and being part of this team is I feel like everybody's super close, so we all have that same mission.
How encouraging is it here in year two? I know we're still got a whole off season to go, but in your mind, what kind of leaps?
I think we need to get better as a whole team, and I think that starts with the division. And for me, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure our team gets better. I don't have any sort of individual goals that way. I want to make sure that we can improve on last year. And I think we saw what we're capable of, and know how we can kind of improve that way. And I think for me, it starts with my behavior, my attitude every single day, and how I come to work.
How critical is this participation now as you guys look to develop the chemistry?
It's a learning phase right now. We're trying to put together the playbook, put a lot of stuff together. It's a developmental phase. I remember being a rookie last year during this time, and you're kind of, you're swimming. You're trying to do everything that you can to be a part of the unit, but you're also learning a lot of new things. You're going to eat crawfish. You're eating, meeting a lot of new people. So it's a lot for the guys, and I wanted to just be that ear for them and be able to use me as a resource on and off the field. So I think we're going to have plenty of time, but also, urgency is at a premium. There is a lot that you have to do on your own to prepare yourself.
How encouraging is it to see Chris Olave back out there after the way he finished last year with the blood clots and that was back?
I've been working with him this whole offseason. He's better than I've ever seen him. His speed, his change of direction, his conditioning, it's been amazing so far. So I think I'm excited to see what he can do flat out. He's been a beast. So he's kind of taken that leadership role as well, stepped up in the room, and I think he's going to be really somebody that we can rely on the whole year.
Tyler, you talk about the just mentioned the leadership role. In this locker room, there's a lot of familiar voices that are here, in terms of who were the leaders last year. Do you kind of feel like the onus now maybe for you, or that responsibility maybe is on being one of those guys who is now that voice that kind of commands the room, or are you still trying to work your way into that role?
No, I want to take as much ownership as I can and earn it every single day. Though I still haven't done a lot when it comes to some of the guys and the vets, but I think that's the best part about this team is that we have that shared leadership. We have guys from all across different teams and countries, but for me, being here this past year, taking a lot of ownership in this offseason process, it's been fun, and I think we're going to continue to build on that, and I'm going to continue to grow and make mistakes and continue to learn and get better.
How exciting has it been for you to kind of help tweak this offense to kind of get it to where everybody feels really comfortable with it?
Yeah, I think it's, I've said it before, but it's the first time as a staff and then also myself that you're kind of having a review of everything and you can kind of evaluate. So it's super exciting, flat out. I mean, you can't wait to get out to practice every single day. The walkthroughs look crisp. Everybody's kind of on the same page. And like I said, there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be bumps. But I think the mental intensity, the understanding of it is what stands out so far.
How's it been working with Travis Etienne Jr?
He's awesome. I think getting to know him, such a down-to-earth guy for what he's done in college and the league, such a great person, and then that just makes it even more exciting when you see what he can do on the field. During handoff drills, when we're throwing the ball and routes, he's elite. So I can't wait because I've been really good friends with him so far, obviously from afar, and then now see what he can do.
How do you view Alvin's absence from these practices?
Yeah, I think he's done it his whole career. My first year was last year, so I think I know what I know, and he shows up ready to go every single week and every single offseason.
That doesn't feel different in the context of his age, his contract, the fact that Travis is here.
No, I don't think so. I think it's, especially that running back room, as much talent and as much guys you can have, and I think AK knows that, Travis knows that, and those guys are two elite level players, so the more the better.
The wide receivers room also has a lot of talent in it now, and you talked about it before, but getting to finally work with all the receivers, new wing, returning, how do you feel about them?
Oh, I'm super excited. I've worked with all those guys on and off the field so far, and it's been impressive to kind of see how much that they're doing off the field as far as their research and studying, but also the talent that they have. So the speed stands out for sure. Their hands are actually really, really good. So I think the biggest thing for those guys is just as you continue to install more plays is to make sure they're comfortable and they're dialed.
And what you said about Jalen Polk, he finally gets to get on the field.
Yep. I love Polk. He's been here the whole offseason just like me. He's been working out. We've been at East Jefferson High School every single week, and he's dialed, man. He's dialed. He's due for a really big year, and I know he's ready to go mentally as well. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
When you look at that receiver room, how much does it help an offense to have several guys who can just go get it?
Yeah, I think that's what you want. I think you want to have the defense kind of on their heels. Not necessarily singling out a certain guy, being able to attack all 53 and a third yards. So I think we have those guys this year, and I think that they're going to do everything that they can.
Dylan had complimented not just the size, but in the speed too. So how excited are you about having those two compliments as opposed to maybe last year's offense?
Yeah. I mean, when you bring that up, and you bring up Devon Vele, for me, I think he's the most consistent guy that I've been around as far as in that receiver room, sure-handedness, being where you're supposed to be, and then you add all these young, talented guys, and already having, a CO and some of the guys that we already have on roster. So I think they were really intentional about it, and I think a lot of those guys are pushing each other to be better.
How much of a leap do you think you can make in your second year?
Like I said, I'm going to try to do everything I can this offseason to make sure I can get better. I have no idea what that looks like specifically, but I know there's going to be mistakes. I know there's going to be bumps, but I feel like as a standard and as a team, we want to go reach our highest goals.
How will you measure that progress? What steps do you look for to make sure you're improving?
I think you got to take it day by day. I love working out, coming out to practice, playing games. I think it's hard to, you look back at last year. How do you measure, that? And for me, I've enjoyed the whole process of it.
You mentioned kind of describe.
Oh, go ahead.
How would you describe kind of the chemistry between you and Kellen? Because it's obviously the year two together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and head coach, play caller, quarterback chemistry. How would you describe it?
It's been great. Yeah. We're texting each other all day. He was texting me last night, like 10 o'clock, about under center drops and different stuff that we were doing, and sitting in meetings with those guys, and it's been awesome. He's such an intelligent guy, but he's also extremely open to all the guys and at least my input as well, which is really cool. So I want to do everything I can to make sure he trusts me, and obviously I trust him.
Have you gotten more used to kind of because he's more of a late night guy, right? And I think last year you said something like that. Like, have you guys gotten more used to each other's rhythms?
Yeah, I think it's just whenever I wake up, we're hit him back. But with the baby, it's kind of might be 3 a.m., might not. So it's kind of funny. I feel like 6 guys have had all babies around the same time. Like David Edwards, Caden Ellis, Pete Werner. A bunch of us were like Eric McCoy day after mine. So we're texting each other at like 3 a.m. just giving each other updates on how it's going, how's the feeding going. I'm sure our wives would beg to differ on how many times we're probably up, but it's been fun.
In terms of kind of what you're looking to improve on, I know you mentioned footwork a couple of times. Is that the primary focus, or are there other things?
Yeah, I think it's eye location. I think it's different action drops. I think it's just getting chemistry with the guys. I think there's a lot of new receivers, a lot of guys that we're going to be able to develop with, and so it's day by day. And I think the more reps I get, the more comfortable I feel with it, and that's my mindset.
Apologies if you already asked about this earlier, but in regards to Chris just being here in terms of like acting negotiations, not holding out per se, and still being around every day, trying what does that mean to you guys as a team? That he's still bought in during the business side of the NFL.
I think more than anything, it just shows he wants to be here. He wants to work hard. He's doing that every single day. He likes being around the guys, and I think he's just such a value to this team that everybody understands. And I think that's just part of the business side of it. That happens, but more than anything, it shows how much he loves it here.
Tyler, how would you say that the efforts from like Kellen and everybody else about team building and getting away, how would you say that's had an impact?
I think right now it's probably had the biggest impact. impact, quite frankly, because there's not a lot of reps that you get. For this OTA period, you get 14 reps in a walkthrough, maybe that a day. So, what we're doing on and off the field, what he's kind of prioritized with these SWAT meeting groups, we're competing every single day. We're going out to eat. I mean, it's cliche, but it's been the closest group as far as a lot of these guys, and I think that's going to pay off whenever you have some bumps and bruises along the year. So I think he understands, what it's going to take, and we all took turns sharing, what some of the best teams we've been a part of, and shared some of our own backstories in our own groups, and it's been really cool to see some of the guys' stories and how much we've kind of dove into this.
Was that something y'all did as an entire roster? Or
yes.
position group?
Yeah, the whole roster. It was really cool. So Kellen's done a great job of that.
Do the coaches get in on that as well as the team?
Yeah, everybody. Just their backstory, the teams that they've been on, what are the common themes, and it's been really cool to hear from 09 Alabama to LSU to the pros, the Saints, different teams that everybody's been on. So getting to talk to guys like Josh Hill, and then what are those common themes of those teams, which is really cool for all of us to learn.
This is like, if a team has won a Super Bowl, like, is that the automatic answer, or like Kellen, for instance, he won with the Eagles, but or is he pulling out like a different, like one of his college teams? Like, is it closest? Like, if you won a Super Bowl, it's close, or could it be?
No, I think Coach Sherman, he was in my group. It was his Walla Walla Blue Devils high school team, and he played in college in the NFL. So more than anything, is how was that team the closest, and I think it gives yourself the chance to have success. And obviously you have to have the talent and the buy-in and sometimes luck with certain things, but it was really cool to be able to kind of reference that.
This is an extremely obvious question, but like, how does adding all the speed on offense help you? Like, the tight end, the receiver, running back?
Yeah, I think it allows you to play in different personnel groupings and stretch the field in different ways, and also vertically, horizontally, and then also it gives me confidence that they're gonna be where they're supposed to be, but also have that talent to go make the big play. And it's been good so far. I think you already have guys like Juwan and CO who have been kind of proven and they can stretch the field. And you had Noah, and you had Travis, you had Tyson, Vele, who's super consistent, and Polk. So it's been, and then obviously our younger guys, Barryon and Bryce, who we drafted, and Delp, who's been coming along. So that speed is very evident, but obviously it starts with being where you're supposed to be, and I think we're getting there.
Along those lines too, with an improved running game, like, what's obviously besides just gaining the yards, what's like the benefit of a strong running game? Does it take the load off kind of your shoulders a little bit, like, or put you guys in less challenging situations more often? Like, what are kind of the benefits of a strong running game?
Yeah, I think obviously every offense it starts with that. It's derived off of the ability to go get yards when you want them and need them, and I think that's been an area of emphasis for all of us, and starts with me with my run track, starts with all the guys. So I think we're going to be dialed when it comes to our preparation with that.
you